Bob Jakowski. I think we need to look to the future, and I think we need to include the consolidation of the complete valley in a large, broad plan that I think we will need to create to outline what the future of the Big Bear Valley and the Big Bear Lakes will be. In the years to come, I will advocate that our city and the valley consolidating and becoming a more beautiful and friendly and inviting place to live and to visit. The successful completion of the fire district, which I believe will occur in the near future, probably within the next 2 years, I think will become a model that perhaps we can use for that future consolidation. There will be many obstacles. It will take years to work through those, and we need to take time to work through those obstacles and not rush it just as I've done with the fire departments. We will have to lay out plans that are well thought out, that are flexible, and not try to rush to complete or achieve anything. I hope to see that day come soon. I don't expect it'll be 5 years, and hopefully it'll be in 10, but I believe it will be somewhere in the future, and I hope to see it. Where do I go with this now?
Helen, the next question is for you. Looking at the other candidates that you were running against, if elected, what would you bring to the council that would be different than what they might bring to the position?
Well, number one, I'm a woman. That's a big difference. All of us have business backgrounds. We all have leadership qualities, and that's all been discussed. But I bring a community volunteer background to the table. I've held leadership roles for several charitable organizations in Big Bear Lake. I've spent 15 years in service to my community. My strengths are working with people, management, fundraising, and I plan to use all those skills when elected to the City Council. I was involved with the merger of 2 Southern California businesses, and I was put in charge of merging the distribution facilities in all of Southern California. That was no easy task. That meant that I had to develop budgets, I had to develop new policies, procedures, billing procedures, and I had to merge employees. It was not easy. On a lighter note, I was a pilot for an airline at a time when women were not involved in aviation in those roles. I know how to deal with a man's ego in the cockpit, and I know I can handle the men on the City Council, and I promise to always have my voice heard.
Whoa.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
You want to shift seats?
Excuse me for a moment. Oh, Bob Jakowski. I don't know how to follow up on that at all. I come from a background of creating, growing, and managing. Independent decision making, creative spending, less government, willing to listen, to do the necessary research in order to make good, informed decision, consult with other parties, and make an independent decision that is in the best interest of our community is what I will bring to the City Council. I believe that in order to govern well, one must learn how to manage. Make no mistake, as a council member, I will govern. Conservatism is the key. We have to spend our dollars wisely. Not just balance the budget, but spend those dollars wisely. I respect different viewpoints, and I will always listen to those. Find ways to streamline the system. I think we're starting to do that, but I think there's a great deal more that we will find and will do in the future. I'm open to new ideas. I want to find ways. One of the things I think is really important is find ways to use local contractors more and more and more rather than going off the mountain when possible. I'm an independent decision maker. I will always be that, and I will be there to make decisions for you and the community.
Yeah, this is Bill Young. One thing that I bring to the City Council is experience and leadership. Our city's working on a number of projects and quality of life projects that that our council is working together on cohesively very hard. Those types of projects include expanding the city and valley trail networks, working with Caltrans on a non-motorized transportation system. There's cycling, hiking, pedestrian, equestrian plans throughout the valley-wide. We've implemented facade improvement programs, improved the sign ordinance to enhance and expand the signing opportunities for our businesses. We've replanted Boulder Bay Park. We're currently working on specific funding strategies for new and future projects such as the lodging revitalization program, the business attraction initiative, and the business tourism improvement district program. But more importantly than that, my experience on a regional basis through Sandbag and SCAG, that's San Bernardino County Association of Governments and Southern California Association of Governments, I've been able to work on an agreement which will be coming to the City Council in about 4 to 6 weeks to arrange for a $3.6 million village renovation program that'll be paid for without raising taxes, without leveling special assessments on our business owners, and without utilizing general funds. Those are the types of things that I bring to the council, and I'm looking forward to working on as we move forward. Thank you. Oh, she grabbed her bell. I got done just in time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Bob, this question is for you. If elected, what is the single most important thing you would like to accomplish in your 4-year term?
Well, in this economic climate, I'm sorry, Bob Jakowski, in this economic climate, job growth is, I believe, the most important factor that faces our community. It faces every community in the nation. Economic growth means jobs. Jobs mean growth. It's kind of a cycle that works all by itself. Growth means prosperity. We have to find ways to attract more business or more tourism to our community. We are a tourist-based community. We have to really focus on making that even better. There are ways of doing that, and I will work hard to find more avenues of increasing that. I do also believe that we need to develop a long-term city plan, and I'm talking 20 to 25 years. We need to identify what our city wants to be in that point. We need to bring all of the people within the valley together and within the city to kind of work out a broad, large-scale view of what's going to be our city in 20 to 25 years. Developers are eager to develop things. They want to know when they first come that they have a community that's ready for them, and I want to make sure that our community is going to be ready when the time comes in order to make certain that we can make the next step forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill Yon. Well, obviously, the most important thing to the Valley in this day and age is our local economy, jobs for the community. We need to continue to focus on our tourist-based economy. I mean, these are things that bring jobs to the Valley as a whole, but more importantly to the city of Big Bear Lake. So jobs has been our number one focus in the city. It'll continue to be mine. I believe that with some of the programs that we're working on today, you're going to see a general upgrade of the city. We've worked very hard again on the facade program and stuff like that, and it's beginning to show, obviously. Now we hit a little speed bump when the state came in and pillaged our redevelopment funds, but we're working our way around that, and we're finding alternative ways to fund these projects, such as the one that I mentioned on the village. Whether we like it or not, what happens down the hill affects us up here, so we have to be a regional player. I mean, these are important things, and the involvement in Sandbag and SCAG has given us a chair at the table, and I want to continue to work on that. Thank you.
Helen Walsh, jobs and growth, of course, are the most important thing to our city, especially in this economic environment that we live in. However, so I'm going to go a different direction from these two gentlemen, Because I think that if we don't clean up our city and do something about the blight that we have, we're not going to attract any new businesses. Blight is a deterrence to business. It's going to take everyone addressing the problem at the same time with the help of the city. Property rights are important, but with property rights come the responsibility to maintain the property. I would like to see the unmaintained buildings and the areas cleaned up. The problem is, how does the city motivate the property owners to maintain, upgrade, and improve the property and ultimately increase their property values? That's something our city is going to have to face very soon, and I'd like to be a part of that process. I saw your thing.
The next question will go to Bill. Bill, public employee pension reform is a critical issue for our future solvency of our city, county, and state. What measures would you take to assure that the city avoids excessive pension costs and possibly insolvency?
This is Bill Yon. That's a very important question, and I'm glad I got the first chance to answer it. I can tell you that our city employees belong to the least expensive pension system in the state. Our typical monthly pension upon retirement for mid-range city employee with 20 years in the system is about $25,000 a year. The pension costs are fully paid on every payroll twice a month. So we absolutely have no unfunded pension mandates in the city of Big Bear Lake. I understand that we're talking about city employees here, but the city of Big Bear Lake does absolutely have no, as I mentioned, does not have any unfunded pension mandates. And we continue to pay our pension obligations twice a month. And we're in great shape when it comes to pension. We've got nothing to worry about. Where's this going now?
Helen Walsh. It's my understanding that the city has a similar program, as does the MWD. City employees haven't had a raise for quite some time, but on July 1st, they signed a 3-year contract for a 3% raise. And I was told that they have to pay into their pension fund 1.25% each of those 3 years into their fund. The city used to pay both the employee and the city's portions, but now the employees have to pick up their part. So now we're in line with all big corporations. All big corporations that furnish a pension plan. Our city employees are lucky that they happen to work for an entity that provides one for them. I know my family doesn't have one, so we just have to depend on our 401k. But I do think that if the city is contributing, you should pay your fair share.
Bob Drakowski. I've been fortunate enough over the years to be able to develop a company that was successful. And I always considered that to be my pension plan. I have Social Security also because I was just an employee of a corporation, so I have to live on that Social Security. Some of the amounts of pensions and retirement funds that I hear of that come from cities, and not necessarily in only Big Bear Lake, but are outrageous. And I think that the whole country as a whole has come to realize that we cannot continue to do that and maintain an economy. Everyone lives longer. That's great. That's wonderful. So I think that it's important, as we have started to do in the previous negotiation, we have started to make it more of an obligation of the employee of the city to pay a portion of that. And I believe over the years that portion will grow, and that in tune will help us be able to manage our economics and balance our books.